Let's talk about the process I'm going through to write a book. If people haven't been following along, I'm working on a book. The working title is The Unauthorized Guide to Being Casey Neistat. It's this enormous challenge. I write a lot. I can get a blog post written, but man, getting a book put together is this other level of trouble. I don't have a great deal of time to put together. It's akin to maybe working on a feature-length movie. I work on these tiny movies that only take 3 minutes. Imagine if I had to work on a movie that would take 90 minutes. It would just take months, years. Before I get to that though, according to Wikipedia, forcing function is defined as any task, activity, or event that forces you to take action and produce a result. So I was part of Y Combinator a couple times, part of the class of 2006. It was the second Y Combinator ever. I remember debating a little bit of like, do we even need to do Y Combinator? We were starting a business that was strictly about like enterprise software. This didn't really seem to be in like the wheelhouse of kind of like what Y Combinator was trying to invest in. And so we were debating about like, do we even need to raise money? I mean, we were hopefully going to be profitable really quick. We weren't looking to raise like VC money and grow like 10x really fast. Y Combinator wasn't a lot of money back then. I mean, it's not a lot of money still today, but it was a lot less money back then. I think we raised, they gave us like $18,000 or something like that. And for the 3 of us living in Silicon Valley for 3 months, we almost pretty much just blew through that money, just that, like renting a house, etc. It doesn't go very far. We easily could have put together $18,000 amongst the 3 of us also. I mean, we all 3 came from decent paying jobs. Why did we do Y Combinator? It was a forcing function. It forced us, by doing this, it forced us to get serious about a business. If we hadn't done Y Combinator, I highly doubt we would have even like gotten the company off the ground. We would have kept our jobs. We would have tried to do it a little bit on the side, at nights, on the weekends. There's nothing wrong with doing nights and weekends, trying to do that side hustle. We would have probably fallen back to things. We would have had nothing to kind of force ourselves to be successful with this company. Now, not everybody needs that, but we did at that time in our life. Just the challenge maybe of that kind of business. It wasn't quite the side hustle-ish kind of business. It was definitely something that was kind of really novel and unique, and it really did take a lot of dedicated time to understand prediction markets and algorithms. I couldn't have done that just in my free time, I don't think. So it was a forcing function to get me serious and my partner serious about starting a business. So I look at what I'm doing now with this book, and it's basically I've created a forcing function. There's no way I can conquer writing a book of thousands and thousands of words. But what I do know I can do is write a blog post. This isn't that unusual, but this is the process I'm going through. I've written down maybe some possible chapters of a book. Each one of these things, I write a blog post every single week, so I'm gonna write a Casey post every single week that I write a blog post. And this just forces me, like, I've got to get a chapter done. And maybe the final product isn't going to be the thing that you see published exactly on Medium or my blog Ninjas and Robots, but it's going to be a start of it. Tackling the book is way too hard, just like tackling that business was way too hard. But by doing this little forcing function, it's keeping some productivity alive, even though I'm like facing this like daunting problem. There's a lot of other forcing functions out there. If you go to Lifehacker, there's an interesting forcing function. I think Dan Martell talks about it. He takes his laptop to a cafe, but he doesn't bring a power cord. He only has like 3 hours to work, or whenever the battery dies, he better be productive. You can't like screw around, right? That's a forcing function. I bet if you look in your life, you could come up with like a little bit of a hack that is like the forcing function that gets you to start a business, start a side hustle, get a book published, start vlogging, something. Hopefully you dig these videos. Please hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.